Mid-caps see a sharp fall after a stunning U-turn in US equities on AI valuation concerns. Realty, metals and industrials are the big drags while auto remains resilient. Anish Shah, the group CEO of Mahindra and Mahindra, calls for thinking of growth in multiples and not in percentages. He expects organic growth of 15 to 40% for the businesses over the next 5 years, with profits growing at a faster clip. The market value of M&M's growth gems has not been captured well, and this will lead to big value unlocking, argues M&M Group CEO Anish Shah. He adds that insurance and other new businesses on the anvil shall create more value. TCS and TPG Terabyte agreed to invest 18,000 crore rupees in TCS Arm Hypervault to build out AI-ready data centers. Analysts see the PE investment as a positive but remain divided on the potential. And Grow's second quarter numbers reveal a profit jump on lower employee expenses that offset higher marketing spends. Revenue and active clients dipped year on year even as market share expanded. The Bulls are determined to end the week on a high, maybe even at a record high. We'll see what transpires in the next 150 minutes of the final trading day of the week. You're watching Business Lunch. We are coming to you live from the CNBC TV 18 Motilal Oswal studios. I am Hormus Patakia. It's been a very significant recovery from the lows of the day for the Nifty. It's a 100-plus point recovery that we have seen on the index, or just around 20 points lower now, almost heading back into positive territory. For the Nifty, leading that recovery has been the recovery that we have seen in the banks. The Nifty Bank now is down just 200 points, and most of these names, be it ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, have recovered from the lows of the day, and that has contributed to the up move. What is also contributing to the up move is the auto space. There you can see the Nifty Bank. It's up around 250 odd points from the lows of the day. And the Nifty Auto Index at the highest point of the day now, 0.5% higher, led by the two heavyweights, Maruti and Mahindra. Maruti receiving a positive brokerage note just recently from Morgan Stanley, and that has now surged 2%. And Mahindra, of course, we had that mega CEO roundtable of sorts with the 14 CEOs of the entire group sharing bullish views on the road ahead for the company, and 1.5% higher for Mahindra as well. Since we are on that subject, Mahindra Rise businesses have shared their roadmap to 2030 with CNBC TV 18. The group said that their growth target over the next 5 years is between 15 to 40%. Sudarshan is here to break down the entire blueprint for us. Sudarshan.
So Mahindra Group had held Investor Day yesterday, and all the group companies have set an ambitious target. So organic growth of Mahindra Group over FY22-25 was 25%. Now going forward for FY26 to 30, now that growth target is in the range of 15 to 40%. Now they have talked also about growth gems. So in FY20, as of FY20 end, combined value of those growth gems was rupees 8,000 crore, and currently it's at 56,000 crore. That's an increase of almost 7 times. And in that 56,000 crore, Mahindra's share stands at rupees 48,000 crore. Let's take a look at the growth outlook that group companies have given for FY20 to 30. For SUV and LCV, they see an increase of almost 8 times in the revenue. For ILCV and electric three-wheelers also, they see an increase of 8 times. For Mahindra Finance AUM outlook, they see an increase of 5 times. For aerostructures, 12 times. For realty pre-sales, they see an increase of 14 times. And Mahindra Holidays, at the end of FY30, they are looking at 12,000 keys. So they had given the target for FY22, FY30. That's of 10-year journey. But I've tried to do the calculation, what were those sales at the end of FY25, and what would those look at the end of FY30. So for auto, current revenue or as of FY25 stands at rupees 91,000 crore. That may increase to almost rupees 4 lakh crore. For agri or say tractor, it stands at rupees 35,400 crore. That may increase to 55,000 crore. AUM that stands at FY25 and at rupees 1.20 lakh crore, that may increase to 3 lakh crore. Realty pre-sales are at 2,800 crore, that will increase to 12,000 crore, and Mahindra Holidays keys stand at 5,800, and that will increase to 12,000. Let's listen into Anish Shah, what exactly he had to say about those growth gems target and also about FY30 outlook.
We are building on a very strong foundation, and we've done well over the last 5 years. As we look ahead, to summarize what some of the leaders have said, we presented to our investors our growth over this decade from 2020 to 2030. We are halfway through that. For this decade, SUVs 8x in revenue, LCVs 8x in revenue, ILCVs 6x in revenue, electric three-wheelers 6x in revenue, Mahindra Finance 5x in assets under management, Susten 5x in installed capacity, Aerostructures 12x in revenue, Lifespace is 14x in pre-sales. We're thinking of growth in multiples, not in percentages. And profit growth will be higher than revenue growth, and market cap hopefully will be higher than that.
The entire Mahindra group speaking to CNBC TV 18. Now, the most talked about post-earnings results have been that of Billion Brains Garage Ventures, and that is, of course, Groww, the much talked about stock first quarter after its listing. Vivek is here to tell us how the numbers look like. Vivek.
Well, that's right. So Groww, post results have actually seen quite a bit of a bump up as far as the stock price is concerned. But a few things, number one, that we have to keep in mind. First up, on a year-on-year basis, revenues have actually declined. But however, when you're looking at the operating profit as well as the operating margins as well as the profitability, all of them on a year-on-year basis have improved. This on the back of the fact that, number one, when you're looking at the OPEX, that is something that has come down quite significantly, and the cost to income too has reduced. And this has improved the operational profitability of the company. But the one thing that we need to keep in mind is that when the last time the management joined us, they told us that FY26 is expected to be a year of growth, especially as far as the top line is concerned, and they were expecting to see growth in the range of 25 to 30%. And they also said that costs could go up by 15 to 20%. Now in Q2, you have actually seen the revenue decline, which raises concerns on whether the management will be able to go ahead and meet the top line guidance that they had started when they met us last time. However, when you're comparing operationally, Groww as well as Angel One, operational performance of Groww is significantly better, especially given the fact that employee costs are something that is much lower compared to its peer. But overall, it has been a steady set, especially on a sequential basis. There's been improvement across all parameters. It's been a steady set, which is why you're seeing the stock move higher in the session today.
The stock has remained steady as well, 4 to 5% higher, as has been the case all through the session. Market cap back above 1 lakh crore rupees. Vivek, thank you for that update. Now on to the big global concern around AI valuations. And just a day after NVIDIA's splendid July to September quarter earnings, which had for then assuaged investors about the froth in AI valuations, the US markets took a very dramatic U-turn in Thursday's session. The stocks opened higher but fell off a cliff as the valuation concerns in AI stocks resurfaced. The Dow fell 1,100 points from the highs of the day to end around 400 points lower. The S&P 500 fell almost 1.5% from the day's high. The Nasdaq also corrected over 1,000 points from the highs of the day. As of now, the US futures are trading higher this afternoon. We just need to see how they hold on for the rest of the session. But NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, however, rejected talks of an AI bubble in the company's earnings call. Listen to what he had to say.
There's been a lot of talk about an AI bubble. From our vantage point, we see something very different. As a reminder, NVIDIA is unlike any other accelerator. We excel at every phase of AI, from pre-training and post-training to inference.
Now, on the continuing with this subject of the sell-off in AI stocks and the debate surrounding their valuations, Sandeep Kalra, the CEO of Persistent Systems, believes that we have a bubble on valuations, but not on the AI play. Listen to what he had to say.
Bubble that we all are talking about is about the valuations. I don't think it is about the AI part being real. I definitely think the AI momentum is real. We are in a very early innings of this whole, percolation of AI into enterprises, into the way we do business, and so on. When we look at our customers, they have all been doing proof of concept. Some of them are going big. So this is going to be a multi-quarter, multi-year journey. So it's not about the market, the addressable market not being there. Now, as far as the valuations are concerned, markets are the best judge. Whether the NVIDIA valuation or other valuations are the right valuations at this point in time or not, we'll let that be the market, place. Now, as far as AI and the entire reskilling is concerned, obviously, the way generative AI and AI at large work, and they are getting infused into every part of business that we do, whether we are a tech services firm, whether you are an enterprise in healthcare, in financial services, and so on. So the amount of reskilling, the workforce transformation, that is real.
Let's take a short break, but just before we do that, an update for our viewers. In a big news week dominated by the Bihar elections, CNN News 18 continued its reign as the undisputed leader in English news. The channel stood significantly ahead of the competition combined, a feat testament to the faith reposed by viewers in CNN News 18. Welcome back. Now, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is in Tel Aviv on a 3-day visit to push for the long-pending free trade agreement with Israel. Abhimanyu is joining in with the latest updates. Abhimanyu.
India and Israel are all set to deepen their strategic relationship as both the countries have signed the terms of reference for a potential free trade agreement in which they are looking to decrease non-tariff as well as tariff barriers to increase market access across several sectors. Israel may also welcome more skilled Indian professionals, which will not just provide employment to Indian professionals, but also will provide a steady stream of skilled professionals to the Israeli economy. Also, both the sides are looking to increase collaboration across several sectors beyond the current collaborations in the defense and space sectors to agrotech, IT services, financial services, and even areas like drip irrigation and saline water management. It remains to be seen how early both the sides are going to start negotiations for a free trade agreement, even as there have been indications that 8 to 10 Indian companies have already been shortlisted to bid for an infrastructure project in Israel. Israel's Minister for Economy, Nir Barkat, also indicated that there are plans afoot, that there is encouragement being given from the Israeli government side to Israeli companies to invest more in India, to invest more in manufacturing capabilities, to gain from overall scale of the Indian market and the skilled workforce.
Now, Abhimanyu also spoke to Nir Barkat, the Minister of Economy and Industry of Israel, and Ron Tomer, the President of Manufacturers Association of Israel, on the potential trade deal. Listen to what they had to say.
I brought a mission to India in February, 100 entrepreneurs and CEOs. And now we have a big mission coming here. So we now know what the entrepreneurs need to succeed. One of the reasons we've decided last year to exchange missions, that at the tail end of it, like today, we will know what our businesses need. So now we're starting to work in parallel. Okay, we're starting to establish more relationships, more exposure, and we're going to be working on innovation. For example, one of the things we're talking about is not do the classic deals of the past. One of the things we're going to focus on is AI. We have a lot of work to do that is futuristic. And so by the trust that we built together, by the collaboration, the high collaboration, I believe we'll be able to create an ecosystem probably the best in the world.
Israel is a country of 10 million people, and we shortly will reach the ceiling of how much output, industrial output we can produce. We can double, we can triple, but we cannot do it 10 or 20 times more. And therefore collaboration with a country like India, when you can do business with people that I have experience with, you can really do it in a very amicable manner. And with the great industrial capabilities, if we need to make 10 times folds or more, the scalability of the Indian production can be assisting us very much. So I'm looking for joint co-investment, joint manufacturing, some in India, some in Israel, joint marketing. India is strong very much in Asia, Africa. We have a gateway to America, to the United States, which President Trump is one of our good allies, and we have the minimum tariff possible. So there is a lot of collaboration on many products.
On to CNBC TV 18 exclusive then, India's air traffic is rising faster than airports can handle, and now the Airports Authority of India is pushing a massive upgrade of the country's air navigation infrastructure. Now, CNBC TV 18 learns that 65 ATC towers across the country will be revamped, upgraded and newly built over the next 5 years with an investment of anywhere between 15 to 17,000 crore rupees. Madhiha is joining in with more details on this. Madhiha, tell us more about this ambitious plan.
Well, the Airports Authority of India has begun its biggest ever modernization of air navigation services to enhance the airspace capacity. Airlines might add aircraft, but not having enough airspace to navigate can slow down India's aviation growth story. So here's how Airports Authority plans to deploy the 17,000 crores. The plan is to modernize 65 ATC towers by 2029. About 60% of the funds go into civil works and 40% into new automation and navigation technology, as well as enhancing cyber security, which is very important considering the cyber attacks that ATC towers could come under. So 65 airports which have been identified for major overhauls and 54 will undergo minor routine improvements. So of the 65 airports, 13 airports that have more than 100 flight movements per day have been identified, of which 5 airports will see total revamps, 8 airports will get revamps of the air navigation systems. So 22 airports will see ATC towers revamped along with new ANS, which is air navigation systems. 26 airports will retain their towers but get new ANS systems, and 4 airports will see construction of new towers with new equipment. And these 4 airports where the new towers will come up at Bhogapuram, Navi Mumbai, Dholera and Jewar airports, which are all high growth, high traffic locations preparing for large scale expansion. Now, AI says that the objective is simple: handle more flights safely and efficiently by improving automation, flight sequencing and runway throughput. India currently, remember, handles 44 to 46 landings an hour at its busiest airports, including the Mumbai International Airport, which is well below the 56 to 57 landings per hour seen globally. But modernization, remember, also needs skilled manpower. AI recruits 800 to 1,000 air traffic controllers a year, and that number will need to rise significantly with capacity expansion and the new towers coming up. So AI currently trains air traffic controllers at Prayagraj, Hyderabad and Gondia. The Prayagraj center will now be upgraded with new buildings, simulators and radar systems. AI says this upgrade cycle is essential as India prepares for a surge in new aircraft and new airports, and the entire program of the 17,000 crore investment for expansion of airspace capacity is targeted for completion by 2029.
Madhya, thank you for that very important update there. Take a short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Starting with some geopolitical developments, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that he is ready to work with the US on a plan to end the war in Ukraine and expects to discuss it with the US President Donald Trump in the coming days. Zelensky has already met with the top US Army officials where he received a draft of the peace plan. And as we end this edition of Business Lunch, we leave you with visuals of US President Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., playing dandiya with Reliance Industries scion Anant Ambani at Vantara. Trump Jr. toured the Wildlife Conservation Center with Mr. Ambani and also visited the Ganesh Temple inside the world's largest wildlife rescue and rehabilitation center in Jamnagar. With that, we take your leave on this edition of Business Lunch. Midcap Radar on the other side.